This is why these big females are protected. Look at all of her eggs. Wow, big wave. All right, good morning and welcome back. Today we are talking about the large lobsters that we catch in our traps, how big of lobsters we catch, how big we're allowed to keep, some regulations around the large lobsters and why we can't keep them. This is actually conveniently timed. We just caught this beauty right here. I believe he's oversized by quite a bit. We have a measure. Once they get over 5 inches from their eye down to their back, we can no longer keep them. You can see the measure stays up on his back by about 1/2 inch. So that one's about 5.5 inches. Once they're over 5 inches, we have to let them go. These are the ones that breed the large females on bottom. The large females can't be bred by the small males. The small males, those big females will just kill them. So these ones are protected to breed those large females. The large females are protected because they're the ones that produce the most eggs when they reproduce. So there's actually no for sure way to age a lobster, but there's an estimate, a rough estimate is about 7 years old to a pound. But I would guess him to be around 8 pounds, maybe something like that. So he's probably 50, 60 years old. We catch them a lot larger than this. We've caught them close to 100 years old, probably some of them over 100 years old. Lobsters live an extremely long time, and it's so cool to see a lobster like this. Even though we can't keep it, we can't make any money on it, it's still super cool to catch them and think that somebody in my family in the past has probably caught this exact lobster. He's been alive for as long as my father has, which is pretty crazy. Lobsters actually do get a lot larger than this, and we do catch them occasionally bigger than this, but our traps aren't designed to catch lobsters this large. The hoops are smaller because we're mostly going after that smaller average that are about 3 1/4 up to 4 1/2. We got 400 traps to haul today. We're gonna go through them. Maybe we'll see some more of these. We haven't been catching many large lobsters. Through the summer, we mostly get a smaller run of shed, but now that the fall has arrived, the larger ones are starting to show back up. Today, this morning, we've already got these 2 out of these 5 traps. So we're gonna go through the next 400 traps with you guys. Maybe we'll find some big old bruisers. This one's gonna be pretty hard to top though. This is a beauty. Let's see what's in store for the rest of the day. Today we're doing a challenge. The last one to stop looking at the sunrise loses. So we're all gonna stare at the sun. First one to look away is the loser. Cody, I was joking. Cody, Cody. These ones are actually pretty large lobsters as well. These are the females. You can see they got punch tails, both of them. This one has an old punch from a fisherman in the past. This one has a fresher punch. These are the big ones that I was talking about, the males breeding. This female will produce 30, 40,000 eggs when she breeds. We can't keep them because they have the V-notch, even though they don't have eggs. No, there's one with eggs. She's full of them. Brand new eggs. She just pushed them out onto her tail. Again, we haven't been seeing a lot of eggers through the summer, but now that fall and winter are creeping up on us, starting to push them back out onto their tail. She doesn't have a notch yet, so we're gonna give her one. Our signature notch. We're going in at a steep angle, kind of a unique notch. So we can tell when we recapture them, or if another fisherman a long distance away captures one, they can let us know. She's got her snack. She's going home. Back to work. Get him in the boat, Cody, let's go! Get him in the boat. We got money to make.
Who wants that?
We gotta go through all the traps and replace all the hog rings. The hog rings are starting to get weak in the traps, as we mentioned in the last video. So we need to take a day, one of these days, to go through and replace all the hog rings. So we got the hog ring auto loader 3000 helping us out today. Okay, you only got 2 more? Jace does a hog ring that eats a handful of chips. Then does a hog ring that eats a handful of chips. There's a big mama female. She's already been notched. I think she's oversized too. She's right around the limit. Yep, about 5 and 8, just a little bit over the measure. And she's been caught in the past when she had eggs on her, so somebody notched her before we caught her. You can see that notch has actually been through a couple sheds. A common question that we get with the V-notch is don't they just shed them out? They do eventually, but it takes 2 or 3 different sheds to fully grow out a new notch, and then we'll freshen them up each notch. This one doesn't really need to be freshened up yet, but we will just to make sure. We'll give it our signature notch. Beauty. She's going back down to make some babies. She's got no eggs technically, so she gets no snack. They only get snacks when they have eggs and they got babies to feed. All right, we'll give her a snack. I guess so. There she goes. One of the cool things as winter starts to approach and we start moving the traps down into deeper water, we start seeing some new species and some cooler species. Some seahorses, some octopus, and these are brittle stars. These are actually pretty common. We see a lot of them once we start to get down into deeper water. They primarily live down near 500-600 feet. These things are extremely abundant down in the deeper water in the mud. They love it down there. And these are actually a relative of the seahorse, and they get pretty large. We don't see them much bigger than this. This is about the average size, but I guess they can get legs up to 2 feet long. So like 4 feet across them. I've never caught one that big. It would be pretty cool if someday we did. Maybe we'll get one today. Who knows? You never know what's in store. It's one of the fun parts of the job. Just over 100 traps for the day. Let's see what else we can catch. Ah! Go! So get it off the boat! pretty crazy. We got 2 pink ones and an orange one, right in the same spot. No! Get him, Cody! Cody to the rescue. 2 pink ones and an orange one.
At least it was a clear path to get there.
Yeah. Obstacle course. There we go. You guys let your helium balloons go on land and the wind's northerly. This is where they go. They land in the ocean. We pick them up a lot, actually, especially during the holidays. Near the holidays, I don't really know what's going on now. It must have been a birthday. Who knows? But around the 4th of July, we find lots of them out here. Get them in the boat.
Get them on the boat.
Good. There's another beauty right there. Look at that big crusher claw. Nice one. A couple little babies in here too, just to compare them to. They look like little crawfish compared to the big one. I know the premise of the video is to talk about the big oversized today, but let's take a moment to adore the little ones as well. Also, let's take a minute to drool over the perfect size eating lobster. We've been focusing on the big lobsters today, but the big ones actually aren't the best eaters. The meat is not quite as sweet. These smaller ones have much sweeter meat. If you've been following for a while, you know that we've been running the code to get our lobsters over at Luke's, but now we're making some changes going into the end of the year. We're actually gonna have a separate tab over at lukeslobster.com that's dedicated to lobsters directly from the boat. You can click on that lobster, it should say Jacob's Lobster, and inside there's a couple different products. There's a lobster roll kit, and there's live lobster kit. The lobster roll kit you've seen in previous videos, they're fantastic. They come with everything you need to put together lobster rolls at home and do it mess-free, quick and easy. They're super convenient and delicious. They come with Luke's secret seasoning, they come with the buns, they come with everything you need to make your lobster rolls right at home, just like they came right from Maine, because they did, but no matter where you are in the country, you're gonna feel like you're right in Maine eating lobster. You can also get the live lobster kit. They just come live and you can steam them up, cook them like you've seen us do in the past. Luke's is also the sponsor of today's video, so thank you, Luke's, for making it possible to bring Jeremy along and document catching these big oversized lobsters and sharing them with you guys. So the first 1,000 orders of live lobster will come with a free bib with a signature on it as a little token of appreciation from me. So I sat and signed all 1,000 of them the other night. Kind of a time-consuming process, but they're all signed. Luke's has them all now. Also, the lobster roll kits will come with the keychains that we were running last month as well. The keychains are just little recycled rope that we actually use to catch the lobsters. We're actually making them right here on the boat, so they're a pretty authentic little token of appreciation for you. There's actually a sale starting for Friendsgiving November 6th through November 10th, so you can get a small discount if you place orders between the 6th and the 10th. So head on over to lukeslobster.com and place your orders. Tag me on Instagram with your little souvenirs, your keychains. I'd love to see them. Get your steamers, get your kettles, get your pots ready for November 6th. Get them in the pot! Pretty woman coming out the trap, pretty woman. Big female. She's actually regrowing her crusher claw. Look at it. It's a little bit smaller than it should be. She's been regrowing it for years now. Takes a lobster, I don't know, what is it? Probably 4 to 10 years to regrow a claw, depending on how big the lobster is, because they regrow them as they shed. The bigger they are, the less frequent they shed. Oh, whoa, she's got a double crusher. She's got 2 crusher claws. Well, this one's like a pincher crusher hybrid. All right, here you go.
Open up.
Open up. There she goes. This is why these big females are protected. Look at all of her eggs. She's about a 4-pound lobster, and they say that there's about 10,000 eggs per pound. So that's about 40,000 eggs. Not many of these survive to adulthood. That's why they have so many eggs when they do. Most of these just become fish food. That is a beauty. Look at that. She looks huge. She's already got a knot. Somebody in the past has notched her. There she goes. So as I mentioned earlier, the traps aren't designed to catch lobsters much bigger than that female because of these heads. If you look in them, these heads have little rings in them, and the rings are only a certain size, so they filter out anything else. The large lobsters can't fit through the rings to enter the trap, so they don't even have a chance to get in to get the bait. Sometimes we'll catch the really big ones with their claws stuck in the hoops, where they were trying to reach in and grab the bait, but they couldn't quite get in there to get it. Which leads me to an idea that we've had for a while. We actually want to do it soon. Sometime this winter, as I said, as the year progresses and the winter approaches, the larger lobsters come out of hiding, we start catching much bigger lobsters. We want to actually build a really big trap with large entry heads that are designed to actually catch large lobsters and see how big of a lobster we can catch. I've always been curious. We've caught plenty as big as these traps will allow, but who knows how big they actually can get. I know there's been several documented in the history, like 40 pounders. So it'd be so cool to actually build a trap designed to catch a lobster that size. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn the bell on. Hopefully we'll have that project going later this fall. You don't want to miss it. We're gonna get them babies in the boat, big ones. He's funny, right?
He's popping a wheelie.
He's popping a wheelie. You gonna throw him over? You gonna throw him over? Good. Okay, go ahead.
Bye.
Here we go! Last one of the day. 400, kind of. Little baby, little one. 4 traps to go. Couple keepers in that one. We gotta let it go, it's too little. I'll throw him over, here he goes.
Bye-bye.
4 traps left. Oh, we gotta get a hog ring in it. Oh, that means 4 more hog rings to go. We're done with them babies. Couple big crabs, maybe a keeper. What do we got in there? She's already got a notch. Yep, good notch, full of eggs. A few eggers starting to show up again. 3 left! Ah! We gotta teach Jace the trick. Just yell at the top of his lungs. So what we do at the end of the day, we just yell as loud as we can. You wanna try it? No? Here's the last one of the day. 1 keeper, maybe 2, and a bunch of shorts. Here goes the final hog ring of the day. You wouldn't think this little step right here would mount to much, but that's just a little addition. Having to keep the hog rings loaded, having to stop each trap, clip a hog ring in it, it messes up the routine that we had and the flow that we had. But anyway, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. That's the last trap of the day. Oh, and also, we do have a name for the lobster back at home. It's G Nugget. G Nugget, the little gold lobster back at home. His name's G Nugget. You like that name? G Nugget. He is doing good. He's eaten a few times. I'm gonna try to get some footage this week of him eating. We'll put some of that in next week's video. That's a wrap for today. We'll catch you next weekend. Back out on the water, going through another 400.